What's up, guys? Kylan with Legends Boxing, here to talk about shoulders in boxing. So when it comes to your shoulders, these are the delivery method of your punches. Obviously, the endurance and stamina required is very heavy in boxing. Boxing is a very anterior sport, meaning we're using a lot of, your front of your deltoid, chest, triceps, and everything that we do. So here are gonna be a list of just exercises. We utilize these in our gym all the time to help working on strengthening your shoulders and conditioning them for boxing specifically. So first thing is we're gonna kind of divide the shoulder into two regions for the most part, or three. So this is how the exercises are gonna work. With your shoulder, three separate regions, right? We've got our anterior, which is like the front, right? Your deltoid right here. You got lateral, and then you've got posterior, okay? When it comes to that anterior and lateral part of your shoulder, that is oftentimes what is utilized for performance and output when you're boxing. So throwing the punches, coming up with your uppercuts, those are a lot of times what are being engaged and trained a majority of the time, being utilized. But that doesn't mean we forget about the posterior side, back here, right? All those back muscles, shoulders, things that connect. Because with these, what these are going to do, that's gonna help for one, balance you out when you're punching, right? If you miss, they absorb a lot of stress and a lot of tension. We don't want those to become injured. And just to maintain overall shoulder health, balance, and good posture. So stay tuned for our exercises. All right, guys, so starting out with those lateral and anterior exercises for the shoulder. Again, these are helping us out a lot with our strength and our performance when it comes to boxing. So these are three to start, kind of bundle them together, that I like to utilize. So we're gonna start out with the front arm raise. I got Robbie here helping, obvious reasons. So how this is going to work, Robbie's gonna start with the weights out about a foot away from his hips, and we're going to do the front arm raise. How these are gonna work, Robbie's going to raise his arm about eye level, stopping there, and he's gonna go down. And I want him to stop about 6 inches to a foot away from his waist. That way he's not disengaging his shoulders, okay? He's keeping tension throughout. Then we're gonna move over to our side arm raise. Robbie's gonna hold his arms out again, good 6 inches out from the body. He's gonna side arm raise, coming up, shrugging those shoulders to his ears, and then coming back down, stopping about 6 inches away from his hips. So this next one's kind of a combination of the two. I really like to, again, it's called a shoulder burner. I like to burn out at the end of sessions with this. How it's going to work, Robbie's gonna do a side arm raise, stopping at shoulder level, bringing the weights in, and then straight up above his head, dropping down again, shoulder level, opening the chest back up, dropping down 6 inches from the waist. He's gonna repeat that one more time. Side arm raise, close it, go all the way up, then just do those steps in reverse. Good way to burn out those shoulders. Our next press, this is going to be a kneeling dumbbell press. So you can see Robbie is in a kneeling position. Left foot on the ground, right knee. He's got the weight in his right hand. What he's gonna do, he's gonna bring it loaded to the shoulder, and he's going to, without using his legs, without using any momentum, he's gonna press straight up and turn, reaching for the roof. He wants to get as long as he can. And then in a nice controlled motion, he's gonna drop all the way down. Repeat for both sides. If you do 10 on your right side, switch legs, switch hands, do 10 on the other side. All right, so our next press, we have a Dumbbell Z Press. So how this is gonna work, Robbie is sitting on the ground, nice tall spine. It's important to have a nice solid posture for this one. You won't be able to utilize any of your legs, any of your upper body other than your shoulders really to help you with this. One of the reasons I love this version. So he's gonna get his arms up at 90 degrees here, and he's going to press straight up to the roof, keeping the pinkies out, not slamming the weights together, coming back down, stopping at 90 degrees. Again, pushing straight up, reaching for the roof, coming back down, stopping at 90 degrees. All right, next is our Cuban press. So I'd recommend this is best done with like a straight bar. Like we've got these weighted bars. Start light with this one for sure, but this can be done with dumbbells as well. Just good to keep them synchronized. So first things first, if you're familiar with an upright row, that's kind of where Robbie's gonna start. He's gonna come up like he's doing an upright row till his elbows are about level to shoulders. Then what he's gonna do is open up into a scarecrow position, then press straight above his head. Reversing the steps, dropping, keeping his shoulders pulled back. He's gonna roll forward, go straight down the body. Again, you wanna kind of avoid throwing yourself around using any momentum. You wanna rely purely on the shoulders. He's gonna do it one more time. Come up, stop, open it up, press straight up to the roof, drop down again, roll the shoulders forward, keeping the back straight, and go down. That is your Cuban press. All right, guys, this is a great conditioning exercise right here, but we're gonna do some weighted jumping jacks. So there's a right way and a wrong way to do these. So, you know, the rhythm of the jumping jacks and the footwork is gonna be very similar, but I don't want our arms swinging out to the side, okay? So what Robbie's gonna do, he's gonna get into like a loaded position, weights like at his chin, like almost like he's gonna about start throwing punches. As his feet go wide, his arms are gonna press straight up. I really don't want you going out. I don't want you swinging your arms up and down. It's gonna put a lot of stress on the shoulder joint. Now as his feet go in, he brings them back in. Now give us a few of these jumping jacks. It's coming all the way out. As the feet go out, weights press up, continuing that rhythm. You can do this for repetitions or a allotted amount of time, adding each time as your shoulders start to fatigue. Our next set of exercises, these are gonna fall under the posterior side, so the back of your shoulder. With these aren't gonna be so much for strength, performance, and output, but for one, overall shoulder health, balance. You know, I myself, I've torn my shoulder before throwing punches, having underdeveloped, backside, and tearing them or injuring them. And so we want to make sure we keep things balanced, strong, and healthy. So make sure to incorporate these into your training as well. We're going to start out with one of my favorites. These are called YTWs, okay, like the letters. So what Robbie's going to do, he's going to kind of try an angle here. He's going to get into a loaded position, bend his knees, kick his butt back, chest to the floor, nice tall spine. And it's almost like, YMCA, he's kind of making these letters. So he's going to start with the letter Y, arms straight out, kind of at a slight angle. Letter T, pulling straight back, and then W, almost doing a face pull, pulling them up to his eyebrows, like he's pulling the sheets up, okay? Trying to kind of pinch his neck a little bit. He's gonna do it again. Y, T, and then W. Again, kind of hitting all those little muscles on the posterior side, especially in the shoulder. All right, so up next for that, that posterior shoulder, we've got banded face pulls. Here we're just doing them on my boxing ring. Got a resistance band, kind of elevated above his eye level. So what he's gonna do is get him in both hands. Just because of the resistance, he's gonna get into kind of a staggered stance. I want your elbows to be above your shoulders, okay? And what he's gonna do, he's gonna pull, and I would look at this thumb knuckle right here, coming to his eyebrows, pulling the elbows up and in, hold them for a second, come out nice and slow. Again, pulling into his eyebrows, nice and level, and coming back out. With boxing specifically, as far as, conditioning your shoulders, you gotta throw punches, okay? If you want to throw punches for a longer amount of time, you gotta push yourself. The exercises are helpful, but without, applying, punching with good form and good technique, your punch endurance or stamina will never change. So this is a drill I really like to utilize, especially at the end of training sessions after working my shoulders. I'm gonna throw the gloves on. So what you're gonna do is you're going to set a 3-minute round. Okay, first minute is straights, or 1s and 2s as we call them. Second minute is uppercuts, or 5s and 4s. And third minute is hooks, 3s and 8s. Okay, so you gotta kind of watch the timer, or you can set like a Tabata timer for this. That's up to you. How this is gonna work is he's gonna start out with the straights. He's gonna give me 10 1s and 2s as fast as he can. So 10 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay? Then he's gonna give me 5 jabs for power, solid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then he's gonna do the same thing with his 2, his cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's gonna repeat that pattern for the entire minute. 10 for speed. 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 of each for power. 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the whole minute. Minute 2, he's gonna go to 5s and 4s. He's gonna get close to the bag. He's gonna give me 10 uppercuts for speed. 4, 5. Give me 5 of each for power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now hooks. Go. 3s and 8s for speed. 5 of each for power. Again. So each minute, minute number 1, 1s and 2s, minute number 2, 5s and 4s, minute number 3, 3s and 8s. The goal is to go as long as you can without stopping. I would even keep track of, the first time you do this, when you stop, and so you can kind of use that to see the incremental changes in your stamina, or just to push yourself a little bit farther every time. Hope you like that drill. I call it the Burnout Bag Drill. Thank you guys for watching our video on shoulder conditioning drills and exercises. Remember, these are only as good as you apply them into your training. If you're doing these once every 2 weeks, you won't see a very marginal difference in your punching stamina and training. These are good to introduce or utilize incrementally throughout your training. I would say a good, 2 to 3 times a week. If you're feeling sore and a little burned out, it's good to lay off and make sure you're recovering correctly. If you guys have any other videos or things you would like to see, drop a comment.